Okay, so today I got the TO2 water blaster. And the problem with it is that it leaks. And this gun has been super fun to play with, to show you kind of how it shoots. Pretty good power, and it works pretty well. The only thing I don't like is that it does leak. So a lot of the leakage seems to come back from this back end here. What I'm going to do today is take it apart and see if I could find the source of the leak and seal it. I bought this really cool kit from Ace Hardware, and it's just like a magnet tray here. And then I bought some clear silicone to see if that could help. Bought a couple of different kinds just in case. And I've got some tools here. So let's get started. I'm going to start off by probably removing the battery. That seems like the best bet. Okay, so this is coming out, thank goodness. Yeah, so as you can see there, this is kind of rusted and causing some issues, so we'll probably clean that up before we put it back together. All right, let's dig this baby out. Luckily, no rusting on the battery, which is good. Yeah, the weird thing about this is you have to take the battery out to charge it. So it's not like you can just plug this unit in itself. Looks like there's a little bit of foam. The good thing is it doesn't look like there's any water getting into the battery compartment, which is great. It looks like it's all coming from the housing. Okay, so that's removed now, and I can already feel it leaking through here. It's already getting my hand wet. So let's go ahead and take out these screws. And all I'm using is a skinny head Phillips. Okay, so typically when I get to this point, as you can see, like this is already starting to crack open. I do have this pry tool. I've accumulated these types of tools over time just from doing this kind of stuff, finicking and playing around with things. So typically once you kind of get to this point, you just work your way around the seams. Trying to be careful not to force anything in case something is busted or bustable. Like sometimes there's like clips and whatnot that kind of hold these types of things together. Okay. Oh, I really hope I could put this thing back together. Oh, is there something up front here that I need to take apart? There might be, because this doesn't look like it will easily come apart. Let's see if I have another different pry tool. Let's see if this guy will do anything. So I mentioned a little earlier that I used to take apart cell phones for a living at one of the major cell phone providers, and I learned a lot of pretty cool things along the way, but one thing I did learn is you just don't force. But I do want to make sure I could take this off. Okay, let's just keep trying. This is, you know, a lot of trial and error when you try to do something like this. It's cool, I can kind of see the inner workings of this whole contraption. Okay, what is, obviously that green thing is causing an issue with taking it apart, but I don't know how it comes apart. So we're gonna figure it out together. I really hope it's not like something that's glued on. If that's the case, I guess I'm gonna have to just glue it back on too. I need a different pry tool. Let's see if this one does a better job. I feel like it is kind of glued in. Is it? And so, oh, I think I made some headway. And I broke my pry tool. That's cool. Chipped a piece of it off. Maybe it wasn't. Let's see. I'm gonna have to get like stronger things. My goodness, I don't remember them being this flimsy. Okay. I've wedged my way in. I don't know if you could tell or see. I'm getting into the seams a little bit, which is exciting. Okay. What is it that's holding it? I don't really see anything that's really holding it down. Oh boy, I just broke off a piece of plastic. Oh, geez. We've gotten it apart. So let's continue ahead with wedging this open. I'm gonna have to probably replace all these tools by the time. Oh wait, there's a screw right there. Okay, let's take it apart. And there's another screw down here, so let's grab that guy too. Oh, this one's really stuck, and I'm afraid I might have just stripped it. Did I just strip it? Oh no. Guys, I think I might have just stripped that screw. Son of a gun. Yeah, I don't know if there's any other way to get it out besides just... I'm hoping to keep the damage at a minimum, so that way I can... Oh, let's see if I could do it this way. Maybe I don't have to break it. Maybe I could just open it like this. What do you guys think? Yeah, that works. Alrighty. So as you can see, major rust points right there. That's like pretty much completely black. And I should have probably just gotten some alcohol so I can kind of clean these things up. But there's like water all on the outside of this, and I would love to see, maybe I could take this out to understand why it's leaking the way that it is. I am wondering if the best course of action is to just focus on this, which I think I'm going to do. So with that, I think I'm going to detach this again. I don't know if I could... Ooh, there's some lubricant on that. Interesting. I don't want to detach that. Could be leaking from this too. It looks like it might be actually leaking from this, but it doesn't make sense considering the hose goes all the way through. So I wonder if it's just the seals around like the openings here. I'm not quite sure what this does because it's not feeding. Oh no, I just did it again, you guys. I wonder if it's, I don't know what the purpose of this is because it's going from the motor into here. So I don't know if it's like air, if it's compressing air into here to make it automatic, but I don't know. And I think what I'm going to do now is just focus on probably sealing these open pieces, and maybe even like, oh yeah, a lot of it seems to be leaking from here. I wonder if I could just hold it and see where it, oh, where it leaks from. Okay, yep, it's leaking from right here. So it's the seams. That makes it so much easier. So if it's just the seams, I don't know if you guys can see this, but let me help figure out how to do this. Okay, you guys can see that dripping. So it's coming from like right here. And if it's just a housing that is leaking, that is a pretty easy fix. So I think what I'll do now is I'll empty the water into this measuring cup that I had water in. I'm gonna take some paper towel. Not that you need to, I think because this stuff so that you can use it wet or dry. But I think what I'm gonna do now is just seal the seam and then test it out again to see if that's the issue. Okay, let's give it a go. And I am gonna so I have some popsicle sticks here to kind of help with the application, because I feel like I don't need that full-on tube, like the nozzle here, because it's so big. I don't think it's really gonna help. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a regular size popsicle stick that I have here. I think I'm just gonna use it to spread it across like so. I'll be back in a few hours to see how this dried. I may have to do the inner side of all of this too, like the inside seal here. But we will test it out when I come back and see how that goes. We are into the next day and everything feels pretty much nice and dry. That feels a little tacky, but I think it's supposed to because it's silicone. But let's see if this thing will leak anymore. So let's pour some water in. I'm just going to be really generous and pour. Oh no, I forgot this hose. Let me connect that and see if that helps it. Get a true test. Look at that, no more leakage. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. Let's do a little bit of cleanup. So I just grabbed some denatured alcohol. I'm going to put it in this glass. We got everything. Actually, you know what we should do? I'm actually going to move these wires back to where they were before. And actually, I'm going to just to make sure I'm not compromising any of this stuff here. Look, let's get this guy too while we're at it. Yeah, that cleans it up pretty nicely, actually. All right, so let's shimmy this back in here. Okay. I want to be conscious of these little solder points because I don't want to accidentally break it. Conscious of these wires. Okay, I think we're in there snug again. Good. I believe, oh, this is where the wires went. Plug this baby back in. Okay. I'm gonna try and see if I can wedge that back in there gently. Beautiful. I don't remember. I don't think the red one stayed in there really. But we're gonna try. Might as well since we're here, right? Okay, that actually goes in quite nicely there. Now, let's see if we can get any more signs of leakage while we have this open. Everything looks pretty good. And like I mentioned, I wanted to be conscious of how thick I put on the silicone because you can't really see it, but the silicone is already like kind of running into the housing here. But I think that's okay because I put on a thick enough layer that it's really not going to impact it if it gets eaten away a little bit when I close the housing up. But I think that's it, guys. I guess I could maybe flip this over and try to clean this side of the house. Let's put it back together. Just going to apply some glue to that section and pop it on. I'm just going to use a silicone glue because there's no reason to try to find a new glue for that. I'm using a smaller applicator to be a little bit more precise here because I don't want it to accidentally glue onto some other areas that it shouldn't. I'm just going to put a little bit. There we go. All right, but now we just gotta pop it back on, making sure the nozzle here, or maybe I could do it this way, making sure this nozzle here aligns. We are in business. Okay, so it's done, and it's working. Okay. I will let you guys know if it starts leaking. Thanks for joining.